Rural Americans deserve access to the best our nation has to offer, especially when it comes to health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families' health. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi!
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast. It's The Other Side of Midnight with Lionel.
All right, Walter M. Sterling, Other Side of Midnight for Lionel. Lionel, thank you for letting me share this time with your great audience. This is the best audience. Now, here's the pitch. You ready? If you run a business, if you are in control of a brand, if you have in charge of the marketing budget, stop wasting your time on network TV. Just stop wasting your money. Because before I was an incredibly good talk show host, I was a suit. I had Brooks Brothers suits, wingtip shoes. I'm not kidding you. What I'm about to tell you is true. Twice, I walked down the streets of New York City, and twice people I never saw before or again stopped me and said, "Excuse me, sir, do you know where Brooks Brothers is? Could you tell us where Brooks Brothers is?" I'm that guy. Well, I also know a little bit about marketing budgets, media budgets. I have no agenda here other than the truth. And the truth is, all you know about network television is that if you make a buy today, its value will go down by the time it hits the air because the audience will go down by the time it hits the air. You buy time on all-night radio on this radio station, WGN, KDKA, KMOX, you buy time on this radio station right now, the size of the audience will be stable or increase, but more importantly, I have not seen anybody on all-night TV in a long time or on primetime TV in a long time hold up your product and say, buy this. Oh, there's slick commercials that win all sorts of awards and sell nothing. Do you remember that Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon used to hold up the product and say, buy this? I don't see Jimmy Fallon doing that. I don't see anybody doing that. That's what sells. One friend talking to another friend. You put a commercial, a message on this show, and you will move product. How do I know this? I will tell you a quick story that set my compass for life. My dad was a retailer. He needed boots on the floor and people at the door. That was his measure. Is this putting boots on the floor? Are people standing at the door? That's how he determined if a commercial worked. He owned a resort. He owned a number of retail businesses. The man believed in radio. He bought radio because it brought people to the door and boots to the floor. That's what he bought. Now, one day he realized that his son, that would be me, was interested in radio. And he said, listen, next month or two, do you want to determine where our money goes in advertising on the radio? I said, yeah, I'll do that. And he said, okay. And what did I do? I did it based on ROIs and CPMs, and I did it based on ratings. My dad never bought anything on ratings. Man had no idea how to read a rating book. What he knew was what he liked. He knew what he listened to. And what he'd listen to were shows like this, where one friend on the radio talked to him in his car on his 50-mile drive. And after about me buying his time based on numbers, not feelings, I bought it based on facts and not feelings. He came to me and he said, I was in high school. He came to me and he said, Walter, how are you going to pay for college? I went, what? He said, because if I keep buying radio the way you've bought radio, we'll be out of business. And he went back to buying radio the way he liked to buy radio, which was he bought what he liked. He bought talk show hosts. He bought personalities. He bought engaging programming. That's what he bought because that got results. That taught me everything I needed to know about advertising. That's what taught me everything I if you had said to him, CPPs and CPMs, he'd look at you like you're crazy. I'd listen to Joe here, and Joe can move product.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best our nation has to offer, especially when it comes to health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families' health. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.